It's the first one that counts.
I'm definitely excited about it.
I just can't wait to get out there.
It's a big deal, you know. It's something that we look forward to.
Your body's ready to go. Your mind's ready to go.
Everyone brings their emotions a little bit more.
We'll be ready for them. We're just looking forward to the challenge.
I don't think we like them very much. I don't think they like us very much.
Somewhat of an off-season overhaul this off-season, and their big off-season signing was this man, Nick Moore. Can he produce a 1,000-yard season, which they did not produce last year?
Nick Moore's going to have this young man throwing the rock. He's very new to the league, 147 passes under his belt. He's got the weight in the entire franchise on his shoulders. You're looking at the young Drew Willie.
Well, this is Shea Emery, and he's going to be chasing that quarterback as linebacker for the Argonauts. He's tough and he's intimidating. Tonight, you're going to see him all over the football field.
And then there's Ricky Ray, voted the league's top player, looking to continue racking up record numbers if he can stay healthy and get his Argos back to the Grey Cup where they were 2 years ago. Well, hello there. Welcome to Winnipeg and opening night in the Canadian Football League. I'm Rod Smith. This is the panel, and it's interesting, the connection with the Blue Bombers and the Argos tonight, because we got a Winnipeg Hall of Famer, the legend Milt Stegall. We got a longtime Argo offensive lineman who hated playing against Winnipeg in Chris Schultz, and we got Matt Dunnigan, who was a star quarterback for both of them. Let's talk about this matchup now, starting with you, Milt. They're trying to get over a 3-15 season and forget about it. This team, the Bombers, have made a lot of changes. Players, head coach as well. Is it enough to get the optimism back in the city?
Well, it's good they made the changes, GM, president, head coach, all of those things were fine and dandy. But the changes that made on the field, they have to produce. These Bomber fans are waiting to explode. They need a reason for some hope, and that hope has to come with players on the field. Not just competing, but win games. These Bombers need to win games and need to win some games early to give this team some hope.
And, Matty, to win games, they need some stability at quarterback. You go back the last 23 games for Winnipeg, Drew Willie, starting tonight for the first time, will be their 6th QB.
That's a lot of turnover, and that's not good for any franchise. This young quarterback comes from good lineage. Yeah, he was coached by Danny Barrett as a quarterback coach, was at University of Buffalo. He had 2 years under George Cortez. That is going to serve him well as the Bombers' young quarterback moving forward. This guy's poised. He can make every throw on the football field. The big question mark for myself and Drew Willie is, does he have enough talent around him? We'll find out.
Schultz in 3 games last year, Ricky Ray threw 100 passes against Winnipeg and completed 79 of them. Got to be a big concern with Ray back healthy against the Bomber team.
Look, Rod, I got to be honest with you. I would be surprised if Ricky Ray didn't pick this defense apart. Now, that's no disrespect to the Gary Echeverry type of defense, even though it doesn't have a playbook or the type of personnel. But remember last year, Ray was on the verge of shattering records. It's his 3rd year in this system. You watch the Argos. They're going to play up-tempo. Ricky Ray's going to be on his game.
Also with us tonight, the coach, Paul Lapalese, who has a connection to both teams, of course, was head coach here in Winnipeg just a few years ago. Paul, well, Winnipeg knows about Ricky Ray, but Scott Milanovich knows a lot about Gary Echeverry, too, and that could be a concern for the Argo offense.
Yeah, I want to take everybody back to 2009 season opener for the Saskatchewan Roughriders when Gary Echeverry was the defensive coordinator. BC Lions were sacked 9 times, turned the ball over 7 times en route to a Saskatchewan win. Gary's a veteran coach. He's going to present a lot of blitzes and a lot of twists up front that the offense of the Argos got to figure out what's happening early on and handle that chess match. I know they're going to be prepared because when I was in training camp with those guys a couple of weeks back, after meetings at night, they were breaking down that game from 2009, preparing all the blitzes and everything. So it's going to be a neat chess match to watch this week, guys.
Indeed, Paul, and the coaching angle is interesting in this matchup, too. The head coach of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers is a former special teams coordinator and a legendary player with the Argos, and Mike O'Shea. And the new defensive coordinator with the Argos, Well, that is Tim Burke, who was the head coach here in Winnipeg just a year ago. The kickoff is coming up on game number 1 of CFL 2014 as we get set now for the national anthem. Linda Kay of Fort Francis, Ontario, you could win the ultimate $25,000 home theater package from Visions Electronics if a kickoff is returned for a touchdown in today's game, thanks to Safeway's Touchdown to Win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned for a touchdown in today's game, you could also win $1 million. So good luck, Linda. Hey, we got a season to kick off now as we head upstairs to the guys who'll call it, Chris Cuthbert and Glenn Suter.
Thank you, Rod. New season, a new franchise, a new CBA, new stadium TV deal, and divisional alignment, but the same goal, to win the Grey Cup. It's the Canadian Football League curtain raiser from Winnipeg between the Argos and Blue Bombers.
For those Blue Bombers, Drew Willie out of the University of Buffalo gets the keys to the franchise. Named the starter by Mike O'Shea before training camp, was 1-1 as the backup to Darian Durant. This will be his 5th start at this level. On that other sideline, in his 173rd start, is Ricky Ray. Played 10 games last year, 6-4, 11 wins for the Toronto Argonauts, won the division.
Scott Milanovich's Argos were 11-7 in the defense of the Grey Cup last year, but lost at home in the Eastern Final. He lost his special team coordinator, who is now the head coach of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. There's Michael O'Shea, 16 years with the Argos, the 5th head coach for Winnipeg in the last 8 years, trying to lead this team back from 3-15 a year ago. Swayze Waters gets set to put it on the tee. The double blue against the new blue as the journey begins anew here in 2014. Aaron Woods, Damon Washington are back, and the wait is over. Let's get this thing kicked off. And it will be Woods from his 15-yard line. Woods up to the 35. 19 on the return as Drew Willie makes his first Canadian Football League start as a Winnipeg Blue Bomber.
Completed 61.5% of his passes in 5 starts in the Canadian Football League. He's 1-3, but was 1-1 last year. He gets a 1,000-yard receiver in Nick Moore over from the BC Lions. The Bombers did not have a 1,000-yard receiver last year, and Nick Grigsby gets the start at tailback. Was quite the battle in training camp.
Our starters to watch brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, where custom advice comes standard. And they'll hand it off to Grigsby into the teeth of that rebuilt Toronto Argonaut. Front 4. Short gain on first down.
Scott Milanovich will look to the middle of his defense at middle linebacker and Shea Emery for a ton of leadership, because this is a young group when it comes to experience in the Canadian Football League, but not necessarily at the pro level. Matt Ware, who will play the short side corner. Has tons of NFL experience, 83 games, as a matter of fact, his first start in the CFL. And they love Shane Horton at linebacker beside Emmer.
Corey Watson and Rory Kohler checked in on 2nd and 9. 4-man Argo rush. Willie gets it away. Flag down. Pass is complete. It would be a first down to Clarence Denmark, who led the preseason in receptions. Let's check the flag. Dave Foxcroft in charge tonight.
A good conversation with Drew Willie before this game to see if he had any nerves, and he was pretty calm.
Offside, Toronto, number 6. That penalty's declined. First down.
Thaddeus Gibson offside on the play. The new defensive end, 18-yard pickup will stand.
Now, we talked about Nick Moore and the players to watch, but we could have brought in Clarence Denmark as well as he runs this dig route. Comes inside, little combination route on the short side of the field and makes the first catch, as you mentioned, Chris. Led all receivers in the preseason.
Drew Willie with 280 yards passing in the 2 preseason games, a couple of losses for the Bombers. He'll roll and dump it off with a speedster Grigsby across midfield. And there was Shea Emery, the middle linebacker, to limit his gain to 6.
Played his college ball at the University of Buffalo for Turner Gill, former quarterback, and, of course, Danny Barrett, his quarterback coach. He has experience. He's played and been teammates of guys like Peyton Manning. Phillip Rivers, of course, he talks about Darian Durant and what he learned from Durant last year as the backup in Saskatchewan.
6 for 12, 108 yards in the preseason game against Toronto. 2nd and 4. Johnson jumped early. Was he drawn offside? Delano Johnson, the defensive tackle, with the move. And Willie suggesting this will be an offside call against Toronto.
Good conversation with Drew Willie yesterday about what he learned from a guy like Peyton Manning, being a teammate of his. He's with the Colts, and said he learned about holding the entire offense, including himself first, accountable. And sometimes just changing plays, see if everyone's alert and ready for different scenarios. He said he's been trying to work through that at training camp.
Offside, Toronto number 90. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So they'll move it up 5, close to the first down.
And he was surprisingly calm during warm-up.
It is a first down. They called the penalty on Cleon Lang, who is the only returnee on the defensive line for the Argonauts. A short drop, gets it away quickly, and has the completion to the big free agent signing in the offseason, Nick Moore from the BC Lions.
Well, we expect to make this call a ton. Drew Willie to this guy right here, Nick Moore. I mentioned that last year the Bombers did not have a 1,000-yard receiver. They picked one up in the offseason in number 17. He catches a nice dig route for 17 yards.
So Willie looks good out of the gate. Moore in motion. Grigsby straight ahead. And he'll plow his way down to the 26. Shane Horton. Logan Harrell on the tackle for Toronto.
Good opportunity here for Nick Grigsby out of Arizona. And when you rush for 3,000 yards at Arizona, you've accomplished a ton in your college career. Good competition. Will Ford, of course, injured from last year. Paris Cotton had a pretty good preseason as well.
Paris Cotton hurt, or he might have won the job. Grigsby with a chance to solidify it. Second down, pressure on. Corner route into the back corner. What a catch! A highlight reel catch. Aaron Kelly with the touchdown.
Great start for Drew Willie. Quick decisions, calm and control in the pocket, looked off the safety and defenders, and throws a nice corner out over the outside shoulder of Aaron Kelly. That's a nice drive to start the season.
Talk about Aaron Kelly's catching radius. Drew Willie threw that over his shoulder right into the bucket. It's a new season, and what a start for Drew Willie. Engineers a 7-play, 76-yard touchdown drive. He goes 4 for 4 out of the gate. Clear him. Irulahu with the extra point, and Drew Willie makes an early point, and a touchdown pass to Aaron Kelly. CFL on TSN is brought to you by Nissan. Innovation that excites. That drive will excite fans in Winnipeg. Aaron Kelly did not have a touchdown catch last year. He has one on the opening drive of 2014.
Nice corner route from Aaron Kelly, but Drew Willie puts it right on the money.
Irulahu, the rookie kicker, will bounce it downfield. Scooped up there by the Argo return man, and he's game tackled across the 40-yard line.
We'll change motion between Aaron Kelly and Corey Watson here on the snap of the football. Watson's going to go inside here, and you're going to see how Aaron Kelly is going to set up Jamie Robinson on this corner route. Here he comes. There's your change motion. Now watch how he's got outside leverage. He knows he's going to the corner, so now he just needs the good throw from Drew Willie, and he gets a perfect one.
Brendan Smith with the return, and the Argos go no-huddle right out of the gate here, and Chad Owens has the catch. And he is dropped just across the 50-yard line by the corner, Matt Buckner.
Starters to watch for the Toronto Argonauts, starting, of course, with Ricky Ray, 13-1 record. As the Argos starter, was 6-4 last year in 10 starts. Chad Owens again led the league in combined yards, and also a running back competition in training camp. Curtis Steele gets the start for the Argos.
And the Argos follow the Philadelphia Eagles. Hurry up offense already. There's Jeremiah Johnson, who will share the running back duties tonight, along with Curtis Steele.
Winnipeg Blue Bombers get Jason Vega back. Bomber fans will remember him from a couple of years ago, went down the NFL. Ian Wild had a great second preseason game, 69 tackles last year. And they get Chris Randall over 4 interceptions last season with Calgary. Look for the short side corner.
Argos haven't huddled yet. 2nd and 4 after the catch by Johnson. Andre Dury in the flat, and he'll be stopped short of the first down. Savon Washington steps up.
Notice that too, Chris, that the Argos are going to go up tempo here with their offense. Not huddle up, get going. It's even an extension of the hurry up. With the new rule change this year in the Canadian Football League, the officials will not wait for the defense. So there's no substitutions offensively to get that tempo game going. Looks like Scott Milanovic has worked on that.
And although they don't sustain this drive, the thought is you can give Ricky Ray 20 more plays in the game, you're going to be even more lethal. Swayze Waters with the punt and a backspin that will roll to the goal line. And it did get into the end zone, and for some reason Aaron Woods brings it out. Flag on the play. It's Woods brought it back to the 5. Long field for Drew Willie. Pending this penalty.
See what the flag is, but you know Michael O'Shea will say if it goes in the end zone, give up the single.
No yards. Toronto, number 97. 5-yard penalty. First down, Winnipeg.
No yards call against Ivan Brown. Drew Willie looked good on his opening drive. 4 for 4, 67 yards. His touchdown pass to Aaron Kelly. We start a new season with a tweaked rule book.
Well, one major rule change, that's the pass interference calls. More on that as this game goes on. Could revolutionize the game in a lot of ways. But the one that we just touched on was that offenses no longer have to wait for the defensive substitutions if they don't substitute. So we may see this year a lot of up-tempo offense, sort of hurry-up offense. And we've already seen it from the Toronto Argonauts in this game. And then some player safety rules we'll get into as the game goes on.
After the penalty, a first down for Winnipeg at their own 15-yard line. Willie flush from the pocket. Here comes the pressure. Willie on the run, and he'll just throw it away.
Does have the ability to escape, move around, can change the launch points for Drew Willie because he has that mobility. Got off to that great start. You know, when I had that conversation with him before the game and asked him if he had any butterflies, any nerves, he said, you know, I've had such great training. This offense has worked hard through training camp. I've had some great teachers throughout my career. I'm ready for this opportunity. And he really looked calm. It's a good decision, throw it out of bounds.
Didn't have a 2-and-out last week against Calgary in the entire game. 2nd and 10. Pass is caught, short of the first down. Clarence Denmark the catch, and there's Matt Ware out of UCLA and a veteran of 2 Super Bowls. One with the Philadelphia Eagles and the other with Arizona.
Interesting to watch him, 31 years old, but can still get it done. And Scott Milanovic said he'll play that short side. And the first name he came and brought up was, in comparison, was Brandon Browner, former Calgary Stampeder, now with the Seattle Seahawks.
Now he did say in their physical, he's got a ways to prove that he can be exactly Browner. Look by Renault, fielded by Chad Owens, who's cut down by Dan West. Down in a hurry on the teams for the Bombers. Fans here in Winnipeg like what they've seen so far, but Ricky Ray gets ready to load up once again with that hurry-up offense when we come back. What a season it was. Just 10 starts for Ricky Ray. Hard to imagine what he might have done in a healthy season.
All league records last year for completion percentage, and the stat at the bottom, 2 interceptions and 303 attempts. Unthinkable, unbelievable.
3-0 against Winnipeg, 506 yards in one game. A career high. Gets it away. Andre Dury the catch and across midfield. Fumbles the football. There's a flag down. Bombers have the ball. And let's find out what the flag's all about. Dury lost the football. And who comes up with it? It's a former Argo, E.J. Kowalik.
A roll in that linebacking core for Winnipeg. A throw and catch to Andre Dury, who led the league in yards after the catch last season. But he took a hit. That ball came out. We'll take another look.
Offside, Toronto. That penalty's declined. First down, Winnipeg.
So the play will stand.
Let's take a look. Was Andre Dury down? Here comes the hit.
These plays are now under review. Johnny Sears replacing Corey Banks tonight at the strong side linebackers spot with the strip of the tackle after a 16-yard pickup and almost simultaneously ball out with the knee down.
Yeah, as you mentioned, these are automatically reviewed now by the league office. It's not necessary for the coaches
the previous turnover is being automatically reviewed.
And that saves the coaches some challenges.
And saves
especially with the PI
That's right.
challenge available this year.
Both coaches saying to us that they were going to probably try and save at least one challenge for late in the game for that new PI rule. This one is close. This may fall into the category of not enough evidence to overturn the call that's made on the field. It's that close.
A couple of former teammates involved as Wally the ex-Argo came up with the football after Johnny Sears stripped it from Andre Dury.
Well, Johnny Sears got there in a hurry. This Winnipeg defense, in our discussion with Mike O'Shea yesterday, who played a little defense himself throughout his
just a little
great
bit.
football career, I said, what do you want from your defense? First of all, where's the strength? He said, probably D-line, front seven as they get settled in the back end. But he said, I just want to pursue
to the ball and play aggressive football, and that's what we saw in that last play.
Fumble recovery stands. Winnipeg football right at midfield. Play action fake to Gretzky. The catch is made. Kelly's got a first down. And it's still loose down to the 35-yard line to Will Carter. Finally brings Kelly down, but it's 20 more for Aaron Kelly in the Bomber offense.
Yesterday, our meeting with Drew Willie, asked him about his focus points. What is he thinking about in this first game? He's got the reins, a guy who's got his first chance to take a franchise and lead it. He says, the thing I'm focusing on more than anything is making my reads as quickly as possible, getting the ball out of my hands as quickly as possible. He's doing that right now.
No returning quarterbacks for Winnipeg. It's a whole new group. Grigsby hand off, and he is tossed down quickly. Tristan Opalago with the tackle for Toronto.
Well, we mentioned Michael O'Shea knowing a thing or two about playing defensive football. As his defense here creates the first turnover, and it's just a few tackles from the new Winnipeg Blue Bomber head coach. Second all-time in 271 games. Middle linebacker.
2nd and 9, Argos show blitz. Jalil Carter was picked up. Willie gets it away, and it's a completion and another first down. Rory Ford had a good year last year with 45 catches. Will move the chains again with a 15-yard grab.
Well, Chris Schultz is in the house, and he's going to point out this one, or be glad that I do, because this is a down block that gets Willie outside. When Drew Willie can get out and get the edge like this, now he puts the secondary in a real bind. Down block keeps him from getting anybody out to contain him, and then Willie can just take his time as he rolls to his right.
Drew Willie, 7 of 8 out of the gate for 109 yards. Handoff, Grigsby straight ahead, and he'll rumble down inside the 10-yard line. Argos number 8 defensively in yards allowed last year, and the Bombers chewing them up in the first quarter.
Arizona State again here. Watch Dan Knapp come in and lead up on this one. A little delay from Drew Willie to Nick Grigsby, and that's gonna help him open up the hole. But big 6'6" in here seals that one, and he gets a 10-yard gain.
A lot of talk about Dan Knapp, who isn't necessarily one of the big guys. Svelte former tight end.
Doesn't want to be called big. He doesn't want to be called big.
Not a buffet boy. Take to Grigsby. Willie looks into the end zone again. And this one incomplete as they ran out of real estate. Aaron Kelly, the target in the corner once again.
This is one of those ride and decides for Drew Willie. It's a little play action. Grigsby could have hit the hole, and watch if Willie decides to give him the football here, he may just walk in. Same kind of blocking scheme for the Bombers. They open up a hole, and look at 32 going, man, if I had the ball right now, we're playing the Bomber fight song.
So 2nd and goal from the 8. Willie again, wide open receiver. That's an easy touchdown. Aaron Kelly has a second over Brendan Smith in the corner.
Boy, Drew Willie is on. He looks like he's in his 173rd start. Watch how quickly he makes the decision as to where to go with the ball. Sets up his feet, turns, drops it in there. Second one to Aaron Kelly.
Pitch and catch.
It's time the quarterback carousel stopped turning here in Winnipeg.
6 plays, 55 yards. Hairulahu, the extra point with a flag down. So the touchdown after the fumble recovery. And the rookie head coach could have not drawn a better first quarter up.
Excellent opening drive for Drew Willie and the Bomber offense, and then Michael O'Shea's defense creates a turnover, and that's big in and of itself because you get field position back automatically. But to score off that turnover and to score a major in the sudden change situation is taking full advantage. You have to do that offensively as the season goes on to continue to put yourself in position to win games. And yeah, what a start for this Bomber team. Milt Stiegel mentioned it off the top, former Bomber. This city, this province is just busting to try and
illegal
find
formation. Winnipeg, number 66. 5-yard penalty. Retry the convert.
They are just looking to cheer for this team, someone to give them hope that this team can stop the slide. Let me just have it in number 5. I know we're not done the first quarter of the first game, but he looks good.
Irulahu from further out puts it through, and it's a 2-touchdown lead as Drew Willie lights up this opening quarter of the CFL curtain raiser of Winnipeg.
Bombers offensively going with that change motion again with Aaron Kelly, the inside receiver, switching up with Rory Collard, the wide receiver. He comes underneath, and you can see Aaron Kelly just runs that little out and up down the sideline in the corner of the end zone. Ball put right on the money again from Drew Willie.
I mentioned Brendan Smith on the corner, but it was Brandon Underwood on the switch that gets singed that time.
On a change motion here from the Bomber offensive coordinator.
And here's Brendan Smith on the return. He started at his 1. Up to the 27-yard line, 46 on the return. And Marcel Belpe, the offensive coordinator, along with Buck Pierce, like what they're seeing in the opening 10 minutes.
Well, they've got to be real happy with the poise and composure of Drew Willie and just how accurate he's been in the passing game, how quickly he's making the decisions as to where to go with the football, mixing it up with a little run from Nick Grigsby. 8 of 10, and 2 scores for Drew Willie early in this game.
Kept this guy off the field. Have to work against the noise in a charged atmosphere. There's Chad Owens with a flag down on the play. John Childs was there blocking. Owens with 94 catches last year to lead the Canadian Football League. And a holding call will bring this one back.
That goes right at the point of attack. John Childs was trying to make that block. Get Owens a little running
holding
lane.
Toronto number 85. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
Take another look. He was the wideout. Chad Owens ran that little hitch. Slot back hitch there, and now he's trying to find a lane. And there's your holding call. Looks like Childs may have got his hands out around the outside of the shoulder pad. If you keep him inside on the chest plates, you're okay. In fact, you can get away with a little bit. You can see all the way to the back. Bruce Johnson.
Back at the 18, it's first and 20. They take the end around. Way pressured. Puts it out and almost intercepted. Johnny Sears was in the neighborhood and nearly came up with the football.
Pressure coming from Jason Vega, who's got that CFL experience. Yes, he went down south for a little bit, but he came back, and watch how he redirects and puts all kinds of problems in the face of Ricky Ray. Little redirect, take the run. Now he's chasing Ray down. He can't get any accuracy on this throw or get it to Jason Barnes at second level. That's almost intercepted.
And Ricky Ray airs it out. Nobody home. Closest man to it, DeMond Washington. John Childs, the intended target.
Chris Randall played John Childs almost perfectly. Comes over from the Calgary Stampeders. And he just played in perfect position. Didn't allow Childs to get to that football. Not even close.
Woods awaiting at his 45. Swayze Waters with the boot. Tumbling ball comes down at midfield. And Woods ducks his way into Argo territory to the 49-yard line. One of the other rule changes involves the footballs. The teams, the ability to use their own footballs on offense, and with more on that, here's Sarah.
Yes, Chris, in the past they were never able to. It was always the home team that provided the footballs. This year, though, the offenses are allowed to use their own footballs, ones that they've practiced with throughout the week. They are taken to the officials before each game, measured, examined, and stamped, and given approval for each game. I spoke to Drew Willie about it. He said this is a big deal for a quarterback, and even though it may be a little bit more of a mental thing for him, he said that he likes it. He doesn't like throwing with the new football, so being able to practice with one throughout the week is a big deal for him. Get it exactly the way he likes it, and we've certainly seen early success with it so far.
And more success here to Corey Watson, stretching out down to the 1-yard line. Argos sent pressure, and Willie has the answer again.
Bomber fans have been waiting for a while. Now this kind of offensive display in a quarter of football, and Willie is on. I mean, he recognizes pressure, knows he can't block the pressure, and he's going to get hit, but he's got an outlet. That's Corey Watson right down the seam.
47 yards to Watson, who did not play in the preseason. But if he can stay healthy, what a valuable weapon he is.
Well, he's a 1,000-yard receiver. He stays healthy.
Well, the questions coming in were about Winnipeg's offense, Toronto's defense. Robert Marv is in with the short yardage team, and I don't think he got there. It'll be second down for the short yardage group.
Michael Shea trying to signal something to Drew Willie or to Marvin, his offense, in that short yardage situation. Pretty good preseason, Robert Marv.
Boy, he caught my eye on that final 5 minutes of the first preseason game. What a drive against Toronto. 3 for 4, 66 yards. That reminded me of Mike Riley. Get 5 minutes, and it was enough to make an impression and make the team. And now a timeout.
Winnipeg
is called by the Bombers. Not one that looks like the coach wanted to burn.
No, but important to take full advantage. I mean, right now, I think a lot of people's jaws just dropped across the league. I mean, there was all kinds of questions. Could Drew Willie, did he have the weapons around him? I know that, again, we're real early in this game in the first quarter, but how good has Drew Willie looked in this offense? Picking up pressure, moving the football, balance with a little running game. So he wants to make sure he's taking full advantage of that and punching majors in. They did it off the turnover. Score the second touchdown throw to Aaron Kelly.
Now the Bombers ready, second and goal. As you look down the line, second and goal from the 1. To Grigsby. And did he get there?
No.
Denied as well. Another roadblock put up by the Argos. And Mike O'Shea has to make a decision on third and goal. And the field goal team comes on.
Let's take a look. It looked to me like James Yurchuk had come in at that linebacking spot, slid there number 47, and stepped up in the hole, was right there to stop Grigsby.
That's James Yurchuk, the reserve linebacker from Bishop. So Irula Hudlu, former Western Mustang, from 8 yards out as the Bombers take 3. Final play of the opening quarter, a big one for the Bombers, although they might have won it even more. 17-0 after 15 minutes of football in the Peg. Let's check the numbers after 15 minutes. Who saw this coming?
The quarterback on the left column has 173 starts. The quarterback on the right has 5. Look at the two columns. 9 first downs to 1, 27 yards, and Willie well over 100. No one saw this coming.
Almost a perfect first quarter for Winnipeg. Almost. They have to settle for 3. There are gamblers out there wondering why they didn't go 3rd and 1, but you say Mike O'Shea made the right call.
I think he did. It's the first quarter. You get down in scoring range, you take the points. He is going to be disappointed that he had to burn that time out to get the right offensive set and get the play he wanted and didn't come away with the major. However, I like the decision. Take the points, keep the momentum rolling in your direction.
Up by more than 2 scores as the Argos take the football after the switch of ends at their 35-yard line. Johnson pressure on. Ray took a hit, got it away, and Chad Owens, they're ruling incomplete, and Owens thought he made the catch. I'd like to have another look as Owens looks to the bench. He'd like to get a review here.
Can't pin it against the turf. Use the turf to assist you. But did he pull that one up?
I thought he did pull it up, but...
Well, you know what?
Unless he fumbled at the end of it, they are not going to challenge the incomplete ruling. It'll be 2nd and 10. He gets it away. He's got Darvin Adams for a first down up at the 50-yard line. A big target, physical receiver taking the spot vacated by Dontrell Inman now with the San Diego Chargers.
Out of Auburn, and they're going to use him in a lot of different special situations and passing packages, but also in the run game. You talked about how physical he can be. They want him to get downfield and block people too.
14 for Adams. And here it is to Dury. Dury getting outside. He'll be brought down close to another first down at the Winnipeg 50-yard line. Late flag, and it would be a first down for Dury. Tackled on the play by the new safety of the Bombers, Maurice Leggett.
So versatile, Andre Dury, and a guy who in our top 50 list this year ranked number 21, ahead of Canadian receivers like Chris Getzlaff and Andy Fantus.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Toronto, number 9. 15-yard penalty after first down this game.
Well, we talked about Darvin Adams being physical, too physical on the last play. And the Argos are moving backwards and having trouble establishing traction here in the opening half.
Well, it was unnecessary. It was right here to the left of your screen. He comes in on Desjardins and takes him out when he's not looking with the play well away from him. Want to play aggressive, but it's across the line.
Penalty after the first down was gained, so it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Short drop, Ray steps up, and now has to throw it low and incomplete at the feet of Darvin Adams with nobody open.
Lamont Washington's playing that short side halfback spot. He and Chris Randall will play together half through the preseason in camp, and I talked to the coaching staff for the Bombers about that combination on the short side. Nelson Martin and Gary Echeverry, the coordinator, telling me that they're like a new married couple, but new in the marriage. They're communicating well on that short side.
2nd and 10, more time for Ray, underneath to his old collegiate buddy, Jason Barnes, but short of the first down. The Argos are going to have to punt the ball away again. Do you think the hurry up has caused a little bit of an adjustment problem for the Argo offense?
No, I don't. I think it's been good pressure from the Winnipeg defense. They created a turnover, and they've won the time of possession battle with Drew Willie looking real good offensively.
Waters boots it away. Backpedaling Woods at his 6 by the first wave, and now gets upended at the 10-yard line. Drew Willie has tossed a pair of touchdowns so far. Both of them going to number 19, Aaron Kelly. And Winnipeg has a 17-0 lead. 2014 CFL opening weekend continues Saturday. First up, Alouettes in Calgary, taking on Bo Levi Mitchell, John Cornish, and the Stampeders. And then it's the Eskimos and Lions kicking off BC Place Stadium. It all gets underway 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on TSN, TSN.ca, and TSN Go. 2 punts by Swayze Waters over 50 yards so far. That last one 56. Here's Grigsby with a flag down and a tackle by the new middle linebacker of the Argos, Shea Emery.
They're going to lean on Shea Emery a ton, and they have to. I mean, this Argo defense does not have a lot of CFL experience in the lineup. Now, they had to do this. It was an area of concern last year, ranked 8th in the league against the pass.
Offside, Toronto number 6. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Second penalty against Thaddeus Gibson in this first half.
But this is an area that Scott Milenovich absolutely had to improve upon. Again, they're last in the league against the pass. The yards allowed per game also last. And they brought in a whole bunch of players. They have NFL experience, not so much in the CFL.
First and 5. Grigsby counter, gets away into the secondary. Past Matt Black and dragged down by Underwood. A 25-yard romp for Nick Grigsby.
That balance keeps you thinking. Now let's take a look up front. And this is an area I've seen just after a quarter of football that there's been improvement. And again, it's Dan Knapp with great mobility. He pulls from the right side, comes over at the point of attack, and he's the guy who opens up the hole initially for Grigsby.
That's the lean and mean tackle we were talking about, former tight end. And now the power sweep to Denmark, who cuts it back and is dropped at the 43-yard line. Tackle made by Jalil Carter.
You take a look at that O-line for Winnipeg. You still have Glenn January at the left tackle. I mean, there's a all-star, 98 starts and 3 division all-stars for him at tackle. They like Chris Greaves at guard, and then Steve Morley is a guy that I think has surprised people, and they said maybe their best center in a few years.
Right guard Patrick Neufeld, acquired from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Second and 7. Grigsby, and he gets tripped up. Might have had some room to roam, but Cleon Lang got him around the ankles.
Yeah, he trips him up, or it's like a first down at least, or at least a one-on-one with Grigsby and Shane Horton. But see the 2 interior defensive linemen with Cleon Lang and Logan Harrell just working in tandem, and they trip up Grigsby.
Chad Owens back, has led the league in all-purpose yards for the last 4 years. Mike O'Shea saying that number 2 helped him get a head coaching job.
Yeah, good players will do that for coaching. They help coaches a lot, don't they?
Oh, off the side of his foot, bouncer to Owens, scooped up, flag down, and the fly to Hawaiian up across the 35-yard line. Not expecting to see him return as many punts this year, but got to use the weapons like him when you're down by 17.
Holding, Toronto number 14. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Penalty against rookie Eric Black, kid brother of the starting safety Matt Black. Argos on offense. Bring them back. Yet to see Anthony Coombs yet, the local product. Highly touted by the Argos. With more on Anthony Coombs, here again, Sarah Oleski.
Well, Chris, he played his university football here as a member of the University of Bisons. 5 Bisons players actually on the rosters between these 2 teams here tonight. Anthony Coombs, though, selected 3rd overall in this past year's draft, says it's surreal to even be out here right now. Last year, he watched the home opener for the Bombers in the stands. This year, he's on the Argos team. He said it's surreal for his mom, too. She can't imagine looking out onto the field and seeing her son as a professional football player. He says it's been an adjustment so far with the speed and everything, but people have been very helpful on this Argos roster, and he's looking forward to the opportunity ahead of him.
Huge Bomber fan. We asked him who his favorite was, and he didn't want to say it and upset Milt, but it's not Milt.
It's not Milt.
Charles
Procedure.
Roberts was his
Toronto,
guy.
number 87. 5-yard penalty remains.
Andrew
First down.
Robinson offside. The Argos going in the wrong direction here.
Maybe it's Anthony Coombs that gives this Argo offense a little spark plug. I mean, there's his bio, 3rd overall in this year's draft, 3-time CSL Canadian, and Scott Milanovic is real high on him. I mean, in training camp and through the preseason says very versatile, like Andre Dury. He gets comparisons to Andrew Harris because of where they're from, but Andre Dury's been a big help to him.
With the timer, please reset the game clock to 9:47. 9:47.
And while the running back situation with Curtis Steele, Jeremiah Johnson, Steve Slayton, and Anthony Coombs is still up in the air as they vie for position to replace Chad Packard, Coombs, everybody has earmarked as the next one. Curtis Steele into the game now. Long field, 1st and 15. And Ray to Sandra Robinson. Gets away from Devon Washington. Fumbles the football, but out of bounds. And the big fullback from Western has 16 and a first down.
One of the guys no longer with the Argos, great Argo, Jeff Johnson. So the Argos now have to platoon fullbacks. They have a couple of options. Xander Robinson that can play fullback or come in there as a tight end, as he does on this play. Just pushes to the flat or to the sideline and makes a nice move there on Devon Washington.
The ruling on the field is a fumble out of bounds. First down, Toronto.
Argos won the 3 meetings last year, 35-19, 26-20, 36-21. 19 for 20 in one of those games, and the one incompletion was a clear-cut John Childs block of 7 for 11 in his opening half. Hands it off, and Curtis Steele gets his first run. Liggett steps up and stays with him to bring him down. That's the newcomer at safety, former Kansas City Chief Rookie of the Year, Maurice Liggett.
Good hustle to the football, and this defense is swarming Ricky Ray right now, and it actually got him a little uncomfortable back there as he tries to call these plays on the line of scrimmage.
2 for Steele, 2nd and 8. Gets it away, but short half Darvin Adams. You presume that Steele is now in because of the protection, but they're still having problems buying time for Ricky Ray.
Well, they want to run this up-tempo offense, but they're having protection issues. And talked about this guy, number 15, being uncomfortable. You don't say that very often about Ricky Ray, but watch how he can't settle his feet. The push from the right side, offensive right, and then come straight down the middle. He has to move to his right, and then one hops it.
5 possessions for the Argos, 4 punts, and the Drury fumble. Waters to boot again. Woods from his 35. He gets stacked up 5 yards further at the 40. And the Bombers with the lead are led out by Drew Willie once again. Sack tally brought to you by Pure Later again this year, tackling hunger across Canada. Check. And fine work by Schultze and the good folks at Pure Later continues. There's how they stacked up a year ago. Bombers start 41-yard line. Willie pressure. Gets it away, but incomplete. Grigsby can't find the handle. Was Shea Emery bearing down on him?
Shea Emery gets out in coverage there from the middle linebacker spot. Jamie Robinson made it for a quick decision. There's Robinson there. Here's Emery, and watch how the 2 linebackers work in tandem here to stop this play in its tracks. There comes Robinson, forces a quick decision by Willie with Emery right in position.
Talked a lot about the team building that needs to happen with so many new faces on defense. 2nd and 10. Pressure off the edge. Willie got it away. But the pass is incomplete, intended for Nick Moore. It would have been short of the first down, and it's a 2-and-out for Winnipeg.
Pressure from Jamie Robinson again, second time. This time, instead of going in between the tackle and the guard inside, they're going to line up Robinson off the edge and bring him on the blitz. So the Toronto Argonauts now sending some more pressure and trying to disrupt that rhythm that Drew Willie had in the first quarter.
Mike Renaud to kick it away. And Chad Owens outside the numbers. Owens will try and find a crease, drop across the 30-yard line. For NBA fans, we will remind you that the Toronto Raptors are now on the clock in the NBA draft, and you can watch their selection at number 20.
Holding
coming up.
Toronto, number 97.
Tyler Ennis is already gone.
First down.
He went to Phoenix, but the Raptors on the clock.
And the Argos offense is on the clock right now as well.
Yeah, you know what? It's almost Chad Owens' time. Looking for a big play.
Midway through this second quarter, and the Argos' high-octane offense has been stuck in neutral so far. With a couple of performances by Ray, and he amazed us almost every time out last year, but in particular against Winnipeg, 39 of 45 for 505, a career high. A 19 for 20 here in Winnipeg. This rebuilt defense has had an answer so far. Owens out there, and he gets away. Chad Owens up across the 40, finally dragged down at the 42 as he got away from Matt Buckner and gets 27.
Almost time for Chad Owens to make a big play, give this offense a spark, and that's exactly what he does. First of all, Ray gets that timing back with a throw to the sideline to Owens. 1-2 throw on that short drop out of shotgun. Now the good move here. Owens tightrope walks the sideline. Picks up 27.
Up to the 42 into the hands of Curtis Steele. And he is dropped up at the 48-yard line.
But you're right, Chris, when you talk about how good Ray was last year against this Bomber defense. Of course, very different defense than the one we see here tonight. This is the one that just jumped out at me, 19 and 20. The only drop, and it was a drop by John Giles on a crossing route. A 10-yard throw that hit him right in the chest, or Ray was 20 for 20 on the night.
5 for Steele, so it's 2nd and 5. Here comes pressure from Kowali, picked up. Ray had time, but Owens fell on his route, and the ball falls incomplete.
Trying to work that short side. Looked like Johnny Sears. He widens to take away any inside cuts. And Chad Owens right here, let's take a look. I think he just slipped and went down out of the break. He's trying to run that quick corner there. And there's Sears with a little jam. He did get a piece of it.
Swayze Waters sails that down over the head of Woods, but doesn't get the bounce he wanted. Flags fly. And another 50-yard punt by Swayze Waters.
Asked Drew Willie yesterday, what did he learn from Peyton Manning? He mentioned that accountability. That asked him what did he learn from
Toronto, number 5. That penalty's declined. First down, Winnipeg.
Jermaine Gabriel asked him what he learned from Darian Durant. Working behind Durant last year and year before, a couple starts when Durant was out. He said perseverance from Durant. Both how Durant works through the physical challenges that you'll face throughout the year, but also some pressure from outside pressure from fans when things aren't going well. He said, I learned how to sort of, from Darian, block that stuff out and just go and do your thing.
Still keeps in touch with the Rough Rider quarterback, who will start on Sunday the defense of the Grey Cup against the team they beat, the Hamilton Ticats. We talked to Drew yesterday, as we did last year when he had his starts, but I sensed a a more mature, not that he wasn't last year, but you could tell he's the guy in charge, very comfortable in his skin and his new surroundings and responsibilities.
Well, and part of the responsibility for that comes from his head coach because he gave him the keys out of the gate.
Second and 9 here. A lot of time again, looking for Kelly again. Got him again. Down to the Argo 50-yard line. Aaron Kelly has been the favorite target for Drew Willie tonight.
You know, when we asked Willie about Kelly yesterday, he said, you know, we're excited about this guy. I think I can utilize his size, and we can go, especially down the goal line, but we can go and throw the football up to him. He's going to win the battle. He's got nice size at 6'4", about 200 pounds. Out of Clemson.
Over Brandon Underwood for 41 yards in his 4th year, and you have mentioned to me on occasion that is a pivotal year. Grigsby dragged down, a horse collar, maybe a face mask, one or the other. Shea Emery will get called. But for players that have yet to emerge, if they don't do it in year 3 or 4, it may not happen. For Aaron Kelly, it looks like it's happening here.
Well, you could tell it's just a different level of confidence the way he's running his routes, and he's got the trust from his quarterback and Drew Willie. Yeah, Emery's going to get called there. But this guy from Clemson, I mean, he has the Clemson receiving records. I'll give you another name of a receiver from Clemson. How about Dwight Clark from the 49ers and what he did in the National Football League? A former Bomber, Perry Tuttle, was a Clemson guy. And Aaron Kelly has all the records, so you know he has
Winnipeg, number 64. That's a 10-yard penalty. Major foul, face mask, Toronto, number 41. Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Toronto, number 41. First down, Winnipeg.
Double trouble against Shea Emery. So 30 against Emery, 10 for the holding penalty against Chris Reeves. It's a 20-yard net gain for the Bombers.
Yeah, he's going to get one for the face mask. Here comes Emery, so there's the face mask, and then when he gets up, he throws the helmet right off him and then throws it back at him and gets the extra 15.
Like it was a straight arm face mask by Grigsby, too, that might have caused the response by Emery. Bombers threatening again. Grigsby, what a move! Spun away from Robinson and down to the 25-yard line. And Nick Grigsby feeling it. He's get 7.
And Pierce Cotton and Will Ford only can watch as Grigsby gets his opportunity. And this is where you know when a back is in the groove, when he makes a guy miss in the backfield. Everyone can run through an open hole. But sometimes you've got to make a defender miss and make what you can out of what would have been a potential loss. And Jamie Robinson had a shot at him about 4 yards deep.
Second and 3. Grigsby out of the backfield. Flag down. Into the corner. Corey Watson's got it. Touchdown. There's a flag, though. Let's see what it's all about.
Another perfect throw all the way.
Toronto, number 27. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
Shane Horton's offside. And Corey Watson's into the end zone. And another Drew Willie touchdown pass.
And those reworked Argos secondary having all kinds of problems with the CFL field and the angles. Now, that was Jamie Robinson, who's got a little experience. He's in his second year. But another great throw from Drew Willie.
5 plays, 94 yards for the latest Bomber touchdown. Nobody knew what to expect here, but I don't think anybody expected this.
Great protection for Drew Willie. Watch the two tackles here in Dan Knapp and Glenn January. They need to take care of their business, because if they don't, they get pressure off the edge. They keep a nice throwing lane for Drew Willie. And Willie, first the guy he goes to celebrate with is Glenn January, his left tackle. Yeah, man, nice protection.
Drew Willie in the first half, 11 of 15, 231 yards, 3 touchdowns. Neither Corey Watson or Aaron Kelly had a touchdown catch last year. They've hit pay dirt tonight. Here comes Brendan Smith through the hole, down the sidelines. One man to catch him, and he is bumped out by Buckner. Excuse me, Damon Washington saves the touchdown. What a burst by Brendan Smith to give the Argos a little life here with a 76-yard kick return.
Brendan Smith can fly. I mean, this is Chad Owens type speed. Watch when he gets through that initial hole. Now he's got angles that he's got to outrun and blows by them all except for Damon Washington.
Argos need to capitalize on this. Gray, short drop. Owens with the catch. And he is quickly tripped up by Bruce Johnson, former New York Giant and graduate of the Miami Hurricanes, upending Owens. And we got an injured Winnipeg Blue Bomber. Looks like Maurice Leggett, the safety, getting attention.
Mentioned former Chief, undrafted, free agent with the Chiefs back in 08. Started 8 games that year, then was hurt.
And while Leggett gets attention, Scott Milanovich sends in a different personnel group for the Argos offense. And it includes Mitch Gale at quarterback, and Ricky Ray goes to the sidelines.
Interesting. You know, to try and continue with a little spark from the return game, that Scott Milanovich makes a decision to take his starting quarterback out of the game. They've got to finish this drive to stop this momentum from the Bombers. Now it is 2nd and 1. He wants to run sort of the short yardage, probably option type play, get the first down, and then get Ray back on the field.
Under 3 minutes remaining in what has been a startling first half here. Rod Smith at the controls, along with Milt, Matt, and Schultze, along with Paul Apolice, as they gear up for halftime with plenty to talk about. Leggett to the sidelines. Danya Namba has checked in on defense. Looks like Matt Buckner goes to safety. Namba for Buckner on the corner. And the short yardage group comes in with Mitch Gale trying to plunge ahead on the second surge. He clearly has the first down. Back in comes Ricky Ray.
Scott Milanovich going with short yardage offense, obviously on 1 yard. But again, when you make that substitution and a cold quarterback comes in, crucial that the the Argos finish this drive with a major.
Ball at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10. Jeremiah Johnson back in at running back. Pressure picked up. Ray end zone. Touchdown. Jason Barnes back in the end zone. And the Argos are on the board.
Nice protection for Ricky Ray. Picked up the pressure. And they do get that major that they absolutely had to have to stop this Bomber momentum.
Jason Barnes right at the end line. The old Eskimo connection reunited. Barnes with 7 touchdown catches last year. And the first for the Argos in 2014 was a while coming. But but after that big kick return, they're back in the game.
Let me show you a little protection from Jeremiah Johnson as he understands the protection package. There he is right here as they break the huddle. Watch 37 as he comes out, takes a look at the defense. Now, you know Scott Milinovic wants his backs to make sure they know how to protect. He's going to wave Andre Dury back in and say, hey, you got him there because I got to come over here and pick up the front side blitz. He picks it up. There's the block and the touchdown throw to Jason Barnes. That's a nice pickup by Jeremiah Johnson. He brings in Andre Dury. He gets the backside. Johnson gets the front side. Ray completes a touchdown.
Until that point, it had been a terrific first half for the Bombers front, applying steady pressure. Mike O'Shea told us yesterday that he felt like early on the strength of his team is that defensive line and the pressure they might be able to generate.
Momentum from a good return. Get a first down, and then Ray gets the perfect protection for a touchdown throw. You give him time, you know what Ricky Ray can do. And Jeremiah Johnson, nice pickup, good read, and a good block.
Woods and Washington back, and it will be Woods from a 6. And he'll come up just short of the 30-yard line, and we take one more look at the touchdown for Jason Barnes. And now the connection with Ricky Ray has been pretty consistent.
21 of 23. You think he likes that catchable ball that Ricky Ray can throw? Bet he does. First one, 2014. But most importantly for the Argos, it stops this unbelievable momentum for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Let's see if Drew Willie can rekindle it. And off to Grigsby. And the hole filled there by Thaddeus Gibson. Mentioned that Grigsby was in the camp of the BC Lions 2 years ago, and last year he was actually playing rookie ball with the Minnesota Twins farm club. So he's a two-sport guy with terrific speed to center fielder, and now in the Bombers' scheme of things, he's had a good first half.
Yeah, not a great preseason, but in fact behind Paris Cotton in the preseason, but he has had a great first half.
At 50 yards in the preseason, he has 52 rushing the football in this first half. Off the edge, Willie got it away with Jalil Carter applying pressure and getting a shot in on the quarterback. It's a big 2-and-out for the Argos defense. Third 2-and-out of the half for the Willie-led offense, but the Argos had some time to cut into this lead.
Well, it was 2 years ago that the Argos won the Grey Cup in 2012. Jalil Carter, the only player on the roster that made a play in that game that was on the stat sheet in that game in 2012. Gets the pressure on Willie.
Line drive punt. Owens, a stutter step, comes back to the short side. Flagged down is Chris Randall, who told Mike O'Shea he wanted to be on all special teams. Makes a special team tackle on Chad Owens.
Michael O'Shea would love to hear that from his starters. There's a guy who played the teams, coached the team, starting middle linebacker when he was playing and making all those tackles, over 1,000 as a linebacker.
Toronto number 97. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Ivan Brown's name's been called a couple of times. Penalties in this first half.
He was also covering kicks, Michael O'Shea, so he's got to be impressed with the play of the short side in the secondary with Damon Washington and Chris Randall. Ricky Ray's tried to go over there, and they've pretty much locked it down so far.
Dave Moyer our stats man just said that's the 15th penalty against the Argos. They asked to confirm it. 15 first half penalties. Ray looks one way, now the other. Dury in the flat. Teague Sherman's over there, and Dury gets away from him. And as a first down, up over the 40-yard line.
Well, they're going to get the first down here, but watch what Ray has to do to get it. He has to go to his third and fourth read. Here's that short side for the Bombers in the secondary that I talked about with Damon Washington and Chris Randall. Ray wanted to go down here to Chad Owens. They lock it up. Good coverage. He has to go back to the field, and they do pick up the first. And work at
15 for Dury. First down Argos. 4 receivers to this near side. Owens underneath, and he's slowed up and taken down by Gwali. 5 on the play. Big play here, trying to keep the drive alive. Into the final minute. First half. Flag down. Pressure up. And Ray is dropped. Jason Vega's back. Let's check the flag.
Looked like to me Chad Owens was offside. It will be. Well, let's just take a look. Take the play, I'm sure.
Offside, Toronto number 2. Penalties declined. 3rd down.
Chad Owens was offside. I want to show you Jason Vega, though. Owens is to the right of your screen. There's Owens. He's offside. Let me show you right here. There's Jason Vega. Bomber's going to put Ian Wild up on the line. Now it's just one-on-one. Inside move by Vega on that spin. And he gets home.
Vega 12 sacks in 2011-12 with the Bombers. Went to the NFL last year. Time with New England and Dallas.
That was a good return. The Bombers have some time for some points. More points before the half.
Waters launches another. Woods at his 16. Trying to get to the edge. It does! And forced out by James Juracek, but there's a return that gives Drew really good field position to get him into scoring position. Needs an 15 seconds.
Yeah, needs an intermediate chunk here. Maybe get 15, 20-yarder, quick out, and Bombers could put the field goal team on the field.
56-yard punt. That's 4 punts over 50 yards for Waters in this first half. 26 on the return. Not sure what the range of the rookie field goal kicker is there in Hairulahu. Really, I'd like to find out. Nick Moore's got a catch. And the clock stops as Moore is forced out beyond midfield. That play taking only 4 seconds, and now one more completion to get into field goal range.
Michael O'Shea knows how quickly things can change. He wants to keep the pedal to the metal here. No conservative 2-3 running plays to end the half.
Here comes the heat. Jaleel Carter has got Willie and brings him down on the Bombers' side of half with 6 seconds remaining. Halfback blitz gets home.
Yes, it does, and he's right there on the backside of the roll from Drew Willie, who wanted to go into that blitz. Grigsby had to make a choice between inside linebacker, which he takes, or Jaleel Carter. Either way, he's wrong.
Should be the final play. Willie rolls. They air it out. Downfield, Nick Moore can't make the catch as the first half comes to a close. But what a half for Drew Willie. 12 of 18, 250 yards, and 3 touchdown passes. It's the Bombers 24-7 at the half at Investors.
A look at the halftime stats here in Winnipeg. 24-7 Bombers. Very impressive, Schulte, by Winnipeg.
My, oh my, 14 first downs, 250 passing yards, then no turnovers. Excellent first half, Bombers.
It is Mike O'Shea's debut as a head coach. He's standing by now with Sarah Orlesky.
Mike, you couldn't have asked for a better start to that game in the first half. A lot of question marks regarding Drew Willie. What impressed you most about his performance in those 2 quarters?
Well, he just seems calm. They're bringing a little bit of pressure, not a lot, but he just seems calm. He's poised in the huddle. He's running the offense. He's making good reads, and he's delivering the ball on time. I mean, that's what you want to ask from your starting quarterback.
Able to limit the Argos to only 7 points in that first half. What was it that the defense was doing well against Ricky Ray?
Honestly, we'd have to see that on film, but they just seem to be playing their assignments. They seem to be tackling well. I think, a couple of longer plays we gave up were just a result of missed tackles. So they seem to be running their assignments the way they should be.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Back in Winnipeg, where the Bombers led 17-0 after one quarter, 24-7 as we get set for the second half. But first, Sarah Oleski with Scott Milanovic.
Scott, Tim Burke described this defense as a work in progress earlier this week. What concerned you most about what you saw in that first half?
Well, I think we were a team that was a work in progress there in the first half. We just need to settle down and play football. Give them credit. They took it to us in the first half. We made too many mistakes, too many penalties, and we're looking forward to seeing a better half here.
You make some adjustments at this point in the game going forward?
I certainly hope we did. I hope we did. We get the ball here to start the second half. We'll try to close the gap and see if we can apply some pressure for them.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Well, in order to get some pressure, they're going to have to get some help from that secondary that's having problems with the size of the field. They see that change motion on the Aaron Kelly touchdown, the first one of the game. That secondary had all kinds of problems on the switch. Then they get caught with their feet stuck in sand on that blitz where Watson goes right down the seam. Watson's going to get a touchdown. Watch the angles as this young secondary, young and experienced in the Canadian Football League. Like Milton Stiegel said, they're losing their angles. They have got to try to anticipate the size of the field, start to hold up their receivers a little bit at the line of scrimmage to allow the pressure Scott Milanovic just talked about to get home. That's been the issue for the Argo defense.
Also addressed another issue, the 16 penalties, 110 yards of football field given away in that first half on flags.
Well, Schultz mentioned it. You can't go on the road and get 16 penalties in a half and expect to be in the lead. It's just impossible. So they're going to have to eliminate that.
Rulahu to kick it off, second half underway, and a couple of pops. Smith takes it. He had the big return earlier, and he is sent tumbling across the 25-yard line. And an important opening drive to start this second half for number 15.
Well, you can tell with Scott Milanovic talking with Sarah Oleski about this first drive, how important it is. Try and close the gap right away, and then it's a game. Quick 2 and out. Willie gets some points, and that momentum continues for the Bombers. So a crucial drive in the beginning of this half.
As time looked for almost intercepted off the hands of DeMond Washington.
Yeah, and I think Ian Wild as well, Chris, fell underneath that from the linebacking spot. He lines up at middle, or the MAC, if you'd prefer to call him that, different terminology for different teams. And watch how he drops under this. Now, DeMond Washington's in coverage. Drops under and gets a little piece of it with Washington over the top.
Ian Wild and Kowali, depending on what Gary Echeverry sends in, or handling the middle of that Bomber defense, 2nd and 10. Here comes pressure. Quickly out of the hands of Spencer Watt. Matt Buckner is there to make sure he doesn't get yards after the catch.
Wow, this is the student body blitz right here on Ricky Ray. You mentioned Gary Echeverry. Well, he lines them all up in here, and he brings them all. And they just say, we're going to line you all up on the line of scrimmage, and pretty much everyone's going to come. I think the 8th guy dropped out.
Two and out to start. Waters with a line drive boot. Woods returnable. And he does find some room up over the 45-yard line. Let's see if Drew Willie can follow up after that brilliant first half as he gets set to go to work at Investors Group Field. Two biggest off-season acquisitions for the Bombers on offense came from different teams, but have a history together. With more on that, here's Sarah.
They sure do, Chris. You look, both Nick Moore and Drew Willie, their ties go back farther than just training camp here. They both played in the Mid-American Conference. They trained together before the NFL draft for a couple of months. They shared the same agent. So there's a history between these two, and they're hoping that helps translate onto the field in terms of production. Moore had a great season last year, caught for over 1,100 yards. He has set his sights very high for this season. How about these numbers? The goals he set for himself, 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Here's a former Argo, Julie Fiole Godino, who tripped up, still has a first down to the Argo 50-yard line. A guy who was a special teams demon for Mike O'Shea in Toronto has a catch here for the Bombers and Mike O'Shea.
Yep, Fiole Godino out of the backfield, and Nick Moore, who Sarah was just talking about, went the opposite direction. That's a nice play call there from Marcel Belfay. I love the design of the play. It gives Drew Willie tons of options. He takes the former Argo.
14 yards for Fiole Godino, one of the all-time CIS pass receiving leaders. Of Laval, Grigsby, uppers, a hop, and a first down inside the 35.
Matt Dunnigan at halftime talked about when you start to stretch the ball down the field and you get the defensive backs and linebackers loosening up to try and help out on receivers getting deep, it opens up your run game. Now you just need a seam at the line of scrimmage. The Winnipeg offensive line has been providing that, and Grigsby can pick up some yards.
Back-to-back 14-yard gains for the Bombers, 66 on the night for Grigsby. First down, Grigsby releases, empty backfield, Godino. Nice move by Fiole Godino. Been anxious to get his chance to be part of the offense, and the Bombers in search of more Canadian talent. They have it in Julian Fiole Godino.
Fiole Godino's got some hair. Is coming out of the back of that helmet. I mean, this is a nice move. I love his patience. Just takes that football, is patient with it, secures it under that right arm, and then nice little move in the open field.
And he's into this offense with Corey Watson, now we're told, is out for the rest of the game with an injury. Godino's picked up the slack, and Grigsby to the edge and tripped up by Shane Horton, the linebacker out of USC with the tackle.
This is a concern with Corey Watson, and it has been throughout his this is the fifth year, throughout his 4-year career to this point, is that his potential outstanding, and when he's in the game, you see what he can do. Big plays in the first half, a touchdown in the first half, but he's had these chronic hamstring injuries. Now the Bombers are telling us it's lower body, but it's been chronic hamstrings throughout his career, and Fiole Godino gets a chance to play.
2nd and 7. Pressure, Willie gets it away into the end zone. Complete. Kelly up against Underwood again. Fans wanted a penalty.
Can challenge a call or a no call. Here's Aaron Kelly.
Michael O'Shea, who has expressed publicly that he's not really comfortable with this new rule, is going to try and utilize it. And when the ball's in the end zone and you get a play that's like that, why wouldn't he challenge?
Now here's the rule change, basically in a nutshell, that with defensive pass interference, not offensive, but defensive pass interference, coaches will now have the ability to challenge either a call that's made on the field for defensive pass interference or a no call if he believes that pass interference occurred but was not called. In this case,
Winnipeg is challenging the ruling on the field. They believe it's defensive pass interference. We will review the play.
And that's what is the challenge here. So for the first time in the regular season, we will test out this rule and take a look.
Now, in the preseason, when we saw it, it seemed to be established by Glenn Johnson and the crew that it had to be clear-cut. So as you watch this, clear-cut pass interference or not?
Aaron Kelly's trying to work back to the football. And it looked to me like he gets turned by Underwood. And what I mean by that is this front shoulder pad gets pulled in that direction. Right there. And when it does, if you turn the body with the ball in the air and it's on its way, and you turn the receiver's body, that will be considered pass interference. Now, again, this is pretty close because they're both battling back to the ball, so we'll see how the command center rules on it. But we saw in the preseason, there we go.
After review, there was pass interference on the play. Player number 28, Toronto. First down on the 1 yard line.
And Michael Shea may end up liking this rule change. And I've been behind it for years. And I sat in the Rules Committee meeting, listened to the debate that was happening with all the coaches and the managers and general managers in the room. And there was a majority that really wanted this rule change, to have the ability to do it. Now, you don't get more challenges, and in the final 3 minutes, you can only do it one time. But if these coaches want to challenge it twice and they have 2 challenges, they can do that.
18-yard penalty, the 17th penalty against the Argos, who had a goal line stand in the first half, trying to deny them again as Marv into the end zone. Winnipeg touchdown.
The day of this ruling, and I know that there's going to be Argo fans watching saying, wow, you know what, this is going to be too much scrutiny. Eventually, defensive back play will improve. The officials will become more consistent because the call on the field ended up being right in this case, and that's why the rule changed.
6 plays, 62 yards. Another touchdown engineered by Drew Willie. Robert Marv caps it with his first CFL touchdown. And Hairulahu with the extra point as the Bombers expand their lead after Michael O'Shea utilizes the new rule in the CFL, challenging pass interference. Co-creator of Lost and director of Friday Night Lights comes a new HBO original series, The Leftovers. Series premieres Sunday, 10 Eastern, only on HBO Canada. Contact your TV provider to subscribe.
So how important was that first drive for the Argos that went 2 and out? Turns around, they go 2 and out. Robert Marv is in the end zone after the challenge on pass interference. The correct call is made. Challenge is successful for Michael Shea.
Bombers score on the opening drive of each half. The opening drive of the game, they only scored once last year. They only won once at home last year. Banjo Bowl against Saskatchewan. Ricky Ray and the Argos testing the old CFL adage that no lead is safe.
They're pushing it. Don't want to test it much more than they are now. This is not about even Ricky Ray and the offensive weapons not executing at the top level. They're not, but this is not the story. This is a defense that's playing tremendous football in Winnipeg, and Drew Willie.
Maurice Leggett back in at safety for the Bombers. Well, he'll swing it out into the hands of Owens. And Chad Owens wrestled down across the 40-yard line. 5th catch for Owens. Johnny Sears the tackle.
And get positive yards on first down. When your offense is struggling, the way to get back on track is to put together 4 or 5 first downs. Even if you're finished with a field goal or even have to punt. As long as you get some first downs, get some rhythm back, then you can start accomplishing some things. And that was a 9-yard gain on first down.
He stays in. Off to Johnson, who has the first down. There were lots of questions about this defense, too, without Javon Johnson and Brandon Stewart gone, JT Gilmore, Enoch Mwamba, who was the best player with the Bombers a year ago, gone. But this Echeverry defense has been good so far.
Yeah, and I haven't seen the style that Gary Echeverry played back in Saskatchewan in 09 and 10. It's been more conventional than back then.
Don't usually use conventional and Echeverry defense in the same sentence. Pitch left side, and here again, Jeremiah Johnson, the forward Oregon Duck across midfield. And close to another first down.
Let's explain that for a second. I mean, when we say conventional, they're basically a couple of styles of defense. You can run a 40, which is a 4-man front, 4 defensive linemen, or a 30, which is a 3-man front, and 4 linebackers. That's sort of the conventional defenses in football. And Gary Echeverry at times in Saskatchewan in 09 and 10 was running with 1 lineman. and guys coming from all different angles. Now, he may evolve to that again at some point, but what I've seen in this game tonight, a lot of 4-down linemen, that straight 40-pound.
Argos dug up the old video from 2009 to start for this. To the outside it goes, and it's complete. Spencer Watt with the catch. Short yardage as he is dragged down. Ricky Ray telling us yesterday, Watt, one of those receivers that was on the verge of breaking through last year and looking for even more from the Simon Fraser product, who gets 4 on that catch.
He's on that bubble year, too. 4 years in the league. Coming into his 5th year. That's where he's got to hit it.
And the Argos keep it going. 2nd and 6. Catch is made. Or does it? No, John Childs does not hang on. Chris Randall in the battle there. And it is ruled incomplete.
Well, I like the play on the short side of this Bomber secondary. They're playing into the boundary, and I talked about them in the first half a little bit with Chris Randall and Demond Washington. That's a big play because it looked like John Childs had body position and looked like he had initially won the battle to the football, but Randall got it other.
8th punt of the night for Waters, who will try and help his defense with a pin. Flag comes down as this one sails into the end zone. And are there too many men on the field? That is normally the call, and the expression from the coach would indicate that that very well could be the call. 13 men, it looks like, are on the field for Winnipeg. And that means the Argos 12 on offense are going to come back.
Too many men.
Yep.
Winnipeg. 10-yard penalty. 1st down, Toronto.
On a night filled with penalties, that's a big one to go the Argos' way. And somewhat surprising that a guy who has made his name on special teams would have his special teams unit come up with that kind of mistake. Puts Ricky Ray in the offense back out. 1st down, 39-yard line. He'll step up, unload, looking deep. John Childs, incomplete. Into a crowd, and Maurice Leggett, the safety, was there for the bust-up.
Well, Leggett's going to bail out of there. First of all, he comes up and shows, and then he drops out of there. And when he does, he plays that free safety spot just perfectly, because you just have to be deepest to deepest, get back into the middle, be patient, don't jump the crossers, and then flow to the football. And that's exactly what he does to knock it away.
2nd and 10. 6 receivers out, pressure on. Jason Barnes has the catch. Prior to the snap of the ball, you saw Ray kind of look his way. And that old combination, which has clicked for a touchdown tonight, gets a critical 1st down.
It really is. That's a big one. He, coming across the middle from left to right. And Ray gets the protection up front. Nice pickup by his O-line, steps up into that soft spot in the pocket. That's a tough catch over the middle for 14 that Barnes comes up with.
Down at the 25-yard line. Ray rolls, Spencer Watt, 1st down, and cut down at the 5. Another 1st down, Demond Washington the tackle, but the Argos threatening here, 1st and goal.
Too many men penalty loops, even larger.
The bad penalties always seem to be the most costly.
Yeah, same in hockey, isn't it? You get those penalties on the wrong end of the ice, they're the ones that cost you.
Trying to make them pay, make the sweep, back the other way, touchdown. Jeremiah Johnson has his 1st Canadian Football League touchdown.
A lot of misdirection from Scott Milanovich's offense here as he gets Andre Dury going one way, right to left. He gets Jeremiah Johnson going the opposite direction. He's got some confusion and an open receiver coming out of the backfield.
So these teams have traded third quarter touchdowns. Waters the convert. As the Argos close the gap, Jeremiah Johnson, the touchdown grab from Ricky Ray.
Once Desjardins right here, he gets caught. There's Jeremiah Johnson, who's going to come from left to right and then escape out of the backfield. Hold it right there, guys. You see now, Desjardins thought his man was gone, didn't stop and pick up the back coming out. He'd go straight to the quarterback, Ricky Ray, who drops it off to number 37.
10 plays, 77-yard drive, extended by the too many men on the field penalty. On Washington, the returner, over the 35-yard line.
Mike O'Shea made sure right after that touchdown that he got his special team units huddled up to remind them of the importance of making sure you're crisp, you're focused, don't let the concentration lap. That was the reaction after the too many men that ended up with an Argo touchdown.
See how Drew Willie responds to the Argo touchdown. First down, Winnipeg 36. Hit as he throws. The ball skipped short of the intended target. Fioli Gadino. Argos bringing a little more heat on Drew Willie.
Yeah, they are. A little bit of Shea Emery, a little bit of Jamie Robinson. That first half, it was a lot of number 4. This time it's 41 who lines up again right in the middle. And he's going to delay a split second, wrap around and come from outside the tackle to provide the pressure on Willie.
So 2nd and 10. Four-man rush. A pump from Willie. He'll air it out. Looking downfield, and it's intercepted. What a grab that was by Brandon Underwood.
Yes, sir. And really the first throw from Drew Willie that allowed Underwood a chance at it. If Willie throws that football right down the middle and allows his receiver to work towards it, then they've got to play, because Underwood's coming from way outside third, closes a ton of ground, undercuts this ball. That's a nice catch for the interception.
Former Green Bay Packer, who had a tough first half, comes up with the first takeaway for the Argos defense here in the second half, and maybe the momentum has shifted. Johnson. And Johnson trying to kick it inside. Lost the football. Devon Washington's got it. And he's going to score. Touchdown. Well, the momentum right back. Behind 35 on the return as they trade turnovers. And Johnson's is the most costly.
Now, Chris Schultz talked about it. The guys around Ricky Ray have been let him down in the first half. This is another example now. Jeremiah Johnson's made some plays here tonight. Had a couple of blocks. Has that touchdown. Takes that underneath handoff. Who makes the hit that pops it out of there?
Might have been Desjardins.
It was Desjardins.
You don't pay Ricky Ray to make that tackle.
No, absolutely not.
Devon Washington had a touchdown on a kick return in the season opener last year. And he has a touchdown here on a fumble recovery. And it's time for a team picture in the end zone for that Winnipeg defense. CFL Fantasy now a reality. Go to tsn.ca/CFL fantasy to set your roster for a chance to win a trip to the 102nd Grey Cup. A Joseph Abboud suit from Moores. Every pick counts. Make yours today.
Let's go, man.
3/4 of football does not a season make.
Happy birthday, Mom. That was for you, Mom. Happy birthday. I love you, girl.
Happy birthday to Mom.
Let's go, man.
These fans have something to cheer about this year. This team looks pretty exciting, and they've got a quarterback that has looked cool as a cucumber out here in the first 3/4 of this game.
Irula Huda put it downfield, and here's the Winnipeg kid, Anthony Coombs, with his touch in. Tripped up around the 30-yard line, a late flag. And again, it's a 24-point deficit for Ray.
Michael O'Shea talked about his pursuit, aggressive defense. I want to show you the pursuit from the Bombers. Look at that. Stop it right there. This is where the fumble comes out. Look how many Winnipeg Blue Bombers are pursuing to the football.
29. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That replay almost looked like Teague Sherman, the Manitoba product, may have punched it out. And some Argo fans are saying there was a referee there that looked like he was impeding Johnson's progress.
You know, running backs can beat one guy. They can even beat two guys, often the good ones. You get 5, 6, 7 pursuing defenders. That's how you play game-style defense. Get after it.
Chad Owens up to the 23-yard line. 8 for number 2. Ricky Ray now over 200 yards passing. Those numbers not bad, but Drew Willie's put up better numbers tonight. They make the run, and they go to Dury, who's got a blocker. And he's pushed out by Buckner after a first down. Argos with that quick game designed by Scott Milanovich that is intended to negate pressure.
Well, it'll allow Ray to get the ball out quickly because he has those two great players like Andre Dury and Chad Owens.
It's kind of interesting stuff on the sidelines. You translate that. Ricky Ray's getting his plays in on those cards, and he's got Jason Powell. And look out, Maurice Leggett beats him at the pass and brings him down heavily at midfield, and Barnes a little slow to get up.
Solid hit from the safety on a post over the middle. Maurice Leggett right between the 8 and the 1.
And there's a safety in the booth that I know loves to see that kind of hit.
Well, a couple actually. Nelson Martin is on this staff in Winnipeg. But that's the job description right there. Stay back, play free to the football. We've seen him with a knockdown in his own end zone when he was helping out on a deep ball from Ricky Ray. And that, when you get that skinny post over the middle, he may catch it, but let him know you're there when he does catch it.
Leggett, 22 games with the Kansas City Chiefs, ran into knee problems that short-circuited his stay there. Jason Barnes continues to gather himself. Well, the one discussion that I had with the coaching staff with the Bombers about Leggett was he was playing corner, and the corner's instinct are to play the ball, jump routes. You know, if you get an under route, jump them, play the football, and the quarterback's throwing motion to the first route that presents itself. But as the free safety in Canadian football, you really can't do that. You've got to be patient. You've got to stay in the middle. You got to help the guys that you can, which are the two inside receivers and the short side wide receiver for the most part when you're free in the middle. And there was concern, is he going to get too jumpy back there? He played it nicely on this one. Darvin Adams returns to the offense in place of the injured Barnes. First down. Curtis Steele over the middle. And he ducked under. There's going to be a penalty against Winnipeg at the end of that as Steele squirt free for a first down. 13 catches last year and 3 starts for the Argonauts.
Possibly a high hit, high tackle.
Major foul, face mask, 25 Winnipeg. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
It's Bruce Johnson, the newcomer at defensive half.
The Giants back in 2009, Johnson. And there's the face mask. Actually looked like it wasn't Johnson. He was on the tackle. They got the number wrong there, but either way, it was a face mask. Correct call made.
Great hit as he delivers, and Mike Bradwell has his first catch of the night. Down to the 21-yard line. Pickup of 8 for the McMaster product.
With Ian Wild and Ejiro Kowali both kind of rotating in and out in this Bomber defense. Sometimes Kowali's coming off the edge as an end, and I believe he's getting some pressure coming from that corner. 2 guys coming off the edge, and he comes right through tackle and guard in that B-gap.
Argos goes double tight ends. Alexander checks in, 2nd and 2, and Steele has the first down. Wally there to bring him down abruptly, and they'll jaw. And depending on the spot, like he had enough, but let Dave Foxcroft spot the ball, and he is requesting a measurement.
Scott Milanovic wasn't messing around. Jeremiah Johnson puts the ball on the ground, and Curtis Steele gets the next series at running back.
Steve Slayton, another vying for the position. Doesn't bother with a hamstring. It's enough for a first down. Slayton, who drew Heisman Trophy consideration in his college career at West Virginia, is still around as the Argos continue to assess that running back spot. And there are even whispers that Chad Packard's not done. Underneath it goes to Steele, and not going very far as Kowali there again. That's a pretty interesting matchup on this series.
Well, it is. We've seen Kowali go on a blitz. We've seen him drop back into coverage now. Watch him just read Ricky Ray, see the check down, and then come up nice open field tackle.
Kowali part of that Argo team that won the 100 Grey Cup. 8th play of the drive. 2nd and 6. Time for Ray. Over the middle, and Owens couldn't reach it. It looked like
the upright.
Played defender on Chad Owens.
It really did. It looked like Owens lost the football because it was in line with that goalpost. Here's Chad Owens who's trying to just kind of run that seam route. And he hesitates. It looks like he loses the football right here. Is he going, which side of that post is he going to go around?
At the 15-yard line. Down by 24. The Argo offense stays on the field. 3rd and 10. Looked like they were offside. Childs in the end zone. Incomplete. The flag is down, but it looked like it was Childs who was ahead of the snap of the football.
Well, there's 2 flags, too, Chris. One at the line of scrimmage. I think that's the one you're talking about with Childs, and then there's one at the back of the end zone, too. The hit from Damon Washington. I'm not sure if that's what the official was looking at. The timing didn't look terrible to me, but
actually a 3rd flag. 2 might be for the offside on either side of
offside. Toronto, number 85. That penalty will be declined. We also have major foul, Winnipeg, number 7. 15-yard penalty. It'll be a change of possession. Winnipeg ball, first down.
Just sorting this out. The penalty against Winnipeg
Ball's gone. Washington leads with his head and goes up with the late hit. That was the penalty.
So that must be ruled after the play was the incompletion. And so that's why Winnipeg will maintain possession of the ball.
Minus the yardage.
And
for the
because
penalty.
because if Winnipeg had taken the penalty, it would have given the Argos another down.
That's
so
right.
they elect to decline the offside. The 15 yards is assessed after the third down. Campbell is ruled incomplete.
I think Michael O'Shea was working that one out on the sideline as well, but he's happy his offense got the football again. He was talking to his assistants there and gave it that kind of one eyebrow up going, okay, let me just make this make sense. We decline the offside. They get the penalty for the late hit, but it's third down. Ball turns over on downs. Either way, his team has football back.
The easy second guess is, should they have taken 3? Got it down to a 21-point deficit. As Willie throwing the out. It's complete. Final play of the quarter, tackled by James Juracek, but the Bombers with Drew Willie at the throttle continue to lead through 45 minutes, 38-14. Blue Bombers. Well, the numbers really don't tell the story so far tonight unless you get into that turnover category.
Yeah, well, they did in the first quarter when the Bombers had the big lead, and they also had the big advantage in stats. The Argos have closed the gap statistically. You look at the yards, but every time they get a little bit of momentum and it looks like they're starting to take advantage of that momentum, Winnipeg makes a play to stop.
That's a big sign for the Bombers, who were minus 27. They gave up the ball 27 more times than they took it away last year, plus 2 tonight. And usually you find your winner on the team that is plus in that category.
Well, and the other thing they were having problems with last year were finishing games. Even when they were close in contests, when they got into the fourth quarter, you know, that's often when the wheels fell off and the Bombers just went right off the track. So see if they can close out this fourth quarter and start 2014 in a very different way than they played in 2013.
Ottawa Red Blacks will be here next week for their first game. Argos have the defending Grey Cup champions next. Willie downfield, and the pass is incomplete. Trying to hook up with Clarence Denmark on the fade. And there's another flag down.
Major foul, roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Good. Well, we know one area Scott Milanovich will be addressing in the wake of this.
Leon Lang, it looked like, with the late hit. Way too many penalties to the Argos.
20th penalty of the game last year. The Argos averaged 80 yards a game in penalties. Double that tonight. There'll be another here. It looked like Gibson might have been offside. And there is a flag as Grigsby's brought down quickly. Mentioned that the record is 27 penalties
Offside,
in a game.
Toronto number 6. 5-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
That's at least 3 times tonight Gibson's name's been called.
He got out of a cannon good and early and got his coach talking to him over there on the sideline because of it.
Out of Ohio State, 4th-round draft choice of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Also spent time with the Chicago Bears 2 years ago. Grigsby. Nice burst off the right side. As once again he follows Patrick Neufeld and Dan Knapp. And Bob Wiley looks like he's done quite a job with that offensive line of the Bombers.
Maybe the biggest improvement on football team. I mean, this guy right here, right tackle, has been outstanding all game, Dan Knapp. This is a little down block for him, watches everybody inside.
And Mike O'Shea excited to have Bob Wiley on his staff. 77 yards for Grigsby, and he'll try and add to that total here. Bulldozing up to around the 52-yard line.
Well, I think Nick Grigsby has earned a right for another start, even if Will Ford or Paris Cotton are healthy to play next week. You know, I think this guy has shown a little bit of everything. He's got some breakaway speed. He's got the ability to make people miss. Make something out of nothing on a couple of plays where he looked like he was caught in the backfield. 99 yards of offense so far and counting. And they're going to need to lean on him here and try and work the clock a little bit.
5 more, 2nd and 5. Willie underneath. Aaron Kelly's got the catch. Brought down by the same number on the Argos. Jalil Carter short of the first down.
Well, it's forward progress. I mean, Jalil Carter put a big hit on Aaron Kelly. I think Drew Willie was trying to indicate that they got forward progress here, and it's a little closer than it might appear because Aaron Kelly went down 2 yards back of the first down marker.
Still about 1.5 yards, and Willie was signaling as if it might be less than 1 yard. Hoping, but
you know what, Chris? I'm not even sure about this spot, to be honest with you. I thought Aaron Kelly got to within about that much of the first down marker on initial contact. Now, he was running across the field, so they may have ruled that just because he got hit and pushed back, they spotted back about half the distance.
3 minutes into the fourth quarter. And they've got a fake on. Teague Sherman got it. And Mike O'Shea has put another stamp on this game on the old special team master. Chad Owens read it, but a little too late. And Renault with a strike that will move the chains.
Well, here you go. I think this was, I'm not sure this was even called, Chris. I think that O'Shea recognized that there was an open receiver right here at the bottom of your screen. Watch over here now. Chad Owens is just seeing that there's a receiver wide open and uncovered. No Argo to widen to him, and they're screaming from the bench, get it outside, and it's a completion for a first down.
On the field, it's a completed pass. First down, Winnipeg.
That's just recognition.
Not sure why the officials had to huddle up to confirm that was a catch.
Well, Sherman was uncovered, so he's wide open, and Chad Owens saw it, but he just saw it too late, and he had too much ground to cover. Another mistake by the Argos.
Put that on a long list tonight. Willie stays on the ground. Grigsby looks for a hole and fires and uses that speed for another first down to the 23-yard line. Forced up by the safety, Matt Black, and Grigsby goes over 100 on the night.
I like his change of gear. I like how he can hit the hole, chop his feet a couple of times, and then accelerate quickly again so he doesn't lose too much of that downhill momentum. Marcel Belfay, the offensive coordinator now, calling to work the clock as much as he can. It's going to be Nick Grigsby left, Nick Grigsby right, and up the middle as well.
The NFL Combine, he had a 4.34 40. This time tripped up to the backfield. Couple of injuries late in his college career, and that's the reason we're told that he was not an NFL draft choice.
He caught 60 passes in his senior year, and in
his last 2 years in Arizona as well, and that tells you he's a receiver out of the backfield, which is important up in Canada.
Play number 11 on this current Bomber drive. 2nd and 11, using the clock. Lots of steamboats and a completion. Down to the 15-yard line. Will be short of the first down. Denmark to catch.
This throw by Willie, it gives Denmark a chance to protect himself. He drills it down nice and low, so Clarence Denmark can basically cocoon himself around the football. I don't even know that's not even a football term. I'm going to drop that one from him. But yeah,
it's the first game.
But he comes back nicely, allows him to protect himself and come up with a big play and get him close to that first down marker.
Short yardage team comes on. Robert Marv checks back in. Touchdown on a quarterback sneak. And Bombers don't want to give up the football. And Marv will sneak and have it with plenty to spare. Off Steve Morley and Patrick Neufeld.
That's a gutsy call. I think conventional wisdom might even say take the points there for Michael Shea. But here's a guy with so much CFL experience as a defensive player and knows how tough it is when you're inside a yard and you have to give a yard. And he also understands that if I give my offensive linemen confidence that I'm willing to do this in crucial points in the game, that'll pay off down the road.
First down just outside the 10. Grigsby again up the middle. Close to 5 more.
It gets tough on a defense when you know they're going to run. The fans know they're going to run. You call it in the huddle. And I've been in those huddles where you say, guys, they are running the football. Can we please stop the run? And it's 6 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards. That wears on you. That breaks you down quickly.
Man, they're running the clock too. Second and 6. Take this time. He's got Dylan Cadino with a corner. Argo is in for the touchdown. His 4th touchdown strike of the night. Over 300 yards on the night. What a night for Drew Willie and the Bombers.
Play action. Out of the backfield. Uncovered. Looked like Willie had a problem, a split-second problem trying to get in the handle of the football, get it out there, but didn't matter.
Dylan Cadino had a touchdown in the preseason against his old team, and how he's got one that will go into the record books and his first Canadian Football League major score, so he's going to hold on to that football.
In the trophy case. A little tape on that baby, and number 83 goes on.
Irilahu adds the extra point. We're going to be talking about Drew Willie here in Winnipeg after this Bomber debut. CFL on TSN is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. Born in Costa Rica.
Hola mami, hola papi, hola Andre, Penélope, Benjamín, Arnaud, toda la familia, un beso, los quiero mucho.
Graduate of that Powerhouse Laval program, a former Beignet Cup MVP, and now celebrating his first CFL touchdown against his old team. There's Coons. Flag down, and he dropped short of the 30-yard line.
Illegal block. Toronto number 43. 10-yard penalty, first down.
It's another penalty against the Argos. This one against the rookie Alexander Dupuis as Fiole Gadino celebrates the touchdown for the Bombers. Well, all week, Peter King's Monday morning quarterback group has been filing stories of the Canadian Football League. There's Ginny Vrentis, part of the SI coverage here tonight.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is.
Mark Tressman wrote an article. Doug Flutie has wrote an article. And in their Canada Week and games in Calgary and Saskatchewan.
Bruce Arthur as well today, featuring John Cornish. Ray remains at the helm. The Bombers defense putting more pressure on, but a completion to John Childs midway through this fourth quarter.
Well, work to do when you're talking about the Toronto Argonauts. I mean, a team that I don't think anyone expected. I think everyone thought their defense may be slow out of the gate a little bit as they started to gel. They thought this offense would be able to score with anybody.
10 different receivers for Ricky Ray in the game. More pressure. He's done. Way down, but got it away. Somehow got it into the hands of Chad Owens, but a shot on Ricky Ray, who hurt his shoulder last year and the mechanics affected in his rehab.
Deja Dunn's off the edge. Jiro Kuali has been causing so many problems for Ray. I think he was looking at him, didn't expect Dunn. Somehow got it to Chad Owens.
377. And again, he took a hit, got it to Owens, gets a first down, and some fans are wondering 45-14 should Ray be in the game.
Well, that hurt him too. That last one, that rattled him. Because he got hit on.
And Trevor Harris is
coming in.
That was enough.
Scott Milinovic saw enough on that last hit.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Winnipeg. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
He kind of got sandwiched on that last one. Watch Ricky Ray back in the pocket here. Hit from both sides, gets pinballed around, and then hit a third time by Anderson, and that was it. Scott Milinovic saw that and said, looked at the scoreboard and said, that's it.
And Trevor Harris comes on, and the snap gets by, and he's going to have to try to eat it. And who comes up with the football? Back at the 32-yard line.
That's tough on Trevor Harris. I mean, that was a last-second decision by Milinovic right there to get Ray off the field after he took that hit, and he just turned to Trevor Harris. I'm actually a little surprised he could find his helmet that quickly. Got out there and wasn't ready for that first shotgun snap.
Loss of 16, and the Argos fortunate just to get the ball back. More pressure off the edge. Great Peach. Ball incomplete. Closest man to it was the center, Jeff Keeping, but Trevor Harris was just getting rid of it to save his life with Great Peach on the rush.
There's Peach, but I also want to show you Jiro Kuali, who's been causing all kinds of problems for whoever's playing quarterback for the Argos. He comes up through that B gap again. He's in the face of Trevor Harris, so he can't throw it around him, and that allows Peach to come off the edge and get there.
Well, they'll be reviewing the protection in the Argo films this week. Aaron Woods, 21-yard line, and he gets taken down quickly. Ricky Ray done for the night and a long opening night here in Winnipeg. Both the Bombers and Argonauts wanted us to mention the passing of a Canadian Football League legend today. Bill Frank passed away at the age of 76. He was on the TSN all-time team at number 49 all-time. Back on the 2004 top 50.
7-time CFL All-Star, Canadian Football League Hall of Fame induction in 2001. And the famous story of Bill Frank in his first game the Toronto Argonauts, came off the plane, had dinner in Burlington, and they went and kicked it off, and he graded out as the best offensive lineman in the bunch.
Without a practice, he was a 4-time All-Canadian with Winnipeg, 3-time All-Canadian with the Argonauts. New quarterback in the game, Brian Brahm out of Louisville. Was in Hamilton last year on the injured list all year. Drew Willie can take the rest of the night off after his first career 300-yard game and what will be his second career victory as a Canadian Football League starter.
Bomber fans have something to look forward to. Bomber, they have something to cheer for right now. I mean, this guy looked great tonight.
Inside, there's Carl Bolney. Football up to the 34-yard line for the Canadian running back.
He's a former second-round pick of the Green Bay Packers back in 2008. And you think about Brahm, a guy on the injured list in Hamilton, and last year comes over and wins the job behind Drew Willie, with Robert Marr being the short yardage quarterback. So Mike O'Shea has to be very happy with the play of his starter. And clearly Drew Willie is ready to take charge of the football team.
Mike Renaud kicking to Chad Owens from his 26. Straight ahead. And Owens with a move. And a foot race. Chad Owens inside the 23. Bombers won't catch him. And it's a touchdown for Owens. Didn't have a punt return touchdown last year. Had one on a missed field goal. But he goes 84 yards for the touchdown here.
Well, it won't change the outcome of the game, but I'll tell you what, it'll be a teaching point for Mike O'Shea. And it'll also be one of those film room moments for Scott Milenovich to bring Chad Owens back up in front of the room and say, guys, keep battling, keep battling. We do this all season long. You make plays like that, even though the score is that lopsided, good things will happen.
No quitting this, boy.
Say when your best players are your best pros and your hardest workers, you got something. And yeah, the Argos have known that about number 2.
Well, no question. There's no quitting them. There's no quit. And there's your teaching point for Scott Milenovich and when you're Mike O'Shea, you can say, guys, we got to stay in our lanes. Big block here to spring Chad Owens.
I think that's Thomas Miles.
Yes, Thomas Miles on the teams. But hold it right there, guys, for a second. No middle lanes filled here on the special teams. Okay, now that's a poor coverage team for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in this situation. That's where Mike O'Shea, guys, he'll go into the meetings and say, guys, I know what the scoreboard said at that moment, but you don't drop your guard. You don't lose your concentration. No one was in those middle 2 lanes. And if you do that against Chad Owens, you need one block, and it's goodbye.
And a bright spot for a Winnipeg kid out of Churchill Secondary. Rooms with the other former Manitoba Bison, Anthony Coombs. And, well, there's a positive for him on a night that hasn't gone well for the Argos. Now Toronto will send out the hands team and at least work on this. Again, it's 45-21, so a lot of distance to close yet, but the chance to work on some things. And there's Nick Moore to go skyward and bring it down, the sure-handed receiver. Good elevation to reach up and get that one first.
You know, it's a great play by Nick Moore. I don't think this kick's going 10 yards anyway, but you don't know that as the returner. Moore doesn't. He's not sure where that ball might bounce, So he's got to play it like it was a 10-yard kick. I think that would have been short by a couple, but he went up and got it.
And Drew Willie comes back in at quarterback. And off, and Grigsby will slide feet first in front of Matt Ware at the 3-minute warning here, with the Bombers in control. 25-21. Well, who will the Florida Panthers pick number 1 overall in this year's NHL draft? Will they trade the pick? Find out tomorrow, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, right here on TSN. Live streaming also available, tsn.ca, TSN Go.
Anyway, my Canucks can draft Crosby in that one? Or
I don't think that's
not
not
eligible for the
I'm not sure they're going to trade for him either.
Okay. I'm just wondering. I throw that out there.
Well, in very early returns, the Bombers have found themselves a quarterback.
Yes, they have.
By the name of Willie Fioli Gadino, met by Matt Ware, tossed down by Jalil Carter.
Now, this is one game, Chris, but he has looked sharp. He has looked composed. Mike O'Shea mentioned it at halftime. Buck Pierce was the last quarterback to take this team to a championship. Didn't win it in 2011. That was in BC Place, but got him there with a 10-8 record. But they have a quarterback with this performance alone that I think these fans can rally around. The team can start to say, we got the guy that we can build a winning football team around.
6 different starting quarterbacks for the Bombers since late in 2012. Back to Buck and Joey Elliott, Alex Brink, Justin Goltz, Max Hall, who was cut at the end of training camp. He really might stay around a little while. Now Robert Marv into the game. Kid who broke Tim Tebow's high school records in Florida. Went to Miami. And transferred to Purdue. And Marv will slide across for another first down. Pretty good highlight reel for your first game as the Bomber starter.
Just off the hook great. I mean, knew where to go with the football. Quick release. Accuracy, especially in the first half, was Ricky Ray-like. Leadership, rallying the troops, got the running game involved, and yeah, that's as good as a debut for a team that you can get from the quarterback position. Now Darian Durant back in Saskatchewan is cheering him on. They're good friends, keep in touch.
I liked what he said yesterday about his philosophy was be aggressively patient.
Yeah. Got it from Cam Cameron, and worked with him in Baltimore when Willie was in Baltimore, and he said, Cam Cameron used to talk about being aggressively patient. So if the big play is there, take it. Know where to go with the football, but when you have to be patient. And he's done that tonight.
90 seconds to go. Grigsby off the right side, and Grigsby with another good run to push the pile and the yardsticks. And although Will Ford's getting close to being ready, I don't think there's much doubt who the starting tailback is for the Bombers next week.
You got to give him the shot. No, I mean, this is you earn your way to the roster, then you've got to earn your way to the starting lineup, and then once you hit the starting lineup, you got to earn the chance to stay in it. And I think with Michael O'Shea, especially being a former player, he recognizes that, and he'll give Nick Grigsby another shot next week for sure, no matter what the health of Will Ford. And that's always the scary part when you get hurt.
Braun back in, hands it off. Carl Bolney, big hole, slicing through. Flag flies as Bolney down at the 5. Argo defenders signaling a hold against Winnipeg.
This is a beautiful
Holding
stadium here.
Winnipeg number 62. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
Beautiful stadium. And the fans were here last year for a 3-win football team. And a lot of those games, Chris, that you and I did, man, I just love this building. Outstanding for football. Sunken field. Everybody's right on top of it. And they get loud in here. And they got something to really cheer about right now.
Around 25,000 tonight, short of a sellout. We're betting it will be.
It'll be sold out next week. And I know this is one game in an 18-game schedule. But they got a quarterback they can get behind.
Matthias Goosen comes in at center, snapping the football. Volney is brought down. Mike O'Shea was awfully relaxed when we talked to him yesterday, even today, and he actually joked about one of his toughest decisions would be what to wear.
Shorts or pants? Yeah, no, I don't know. Gray T-shirt or pullover, you know. The thing that everybody's dying to have answered.
I don't know if we've ever had a head coach on the sidelines in shorts before.
You know, he was real calm yesterday. I think he knows how hard his team's worked in camp, worked through the preseason. I asked him about just his overall philosophy. What's been the message? What's been your consistent message to the team from day one since you took over? He said, I want them to understand that every decision they make, they've got to put the team first. So everything we teach, everything we do, how we talk, put the team first, and you'll be fine. And this was an all-around team effort, and guess what's coming?
Yep. And this looks like an all-around team effort.
It does.
I don't want to sell anybody out, but Mike Renault looks like he's been planning this for a few minutes now. Ladies and gentlemen,
here we go.
It's his first victory Gatorade. Victory celebration. Brian Brom and the Bombers. They're going to have to do one more play, I believe. 7 seconds left. Defense has to get out as they don't burn the clock. Another little thing they'll have to work on. What a player he was, what a competitor.
Well, I was getting excited in our meeting. I mean, when he was talking about team first, every decision, every speech, it has an angle to that you make a decision on the field, off of it. You put your team first, your teammates, the guys beside you in the room first, you'll be fine. Don't worry about that decision as long as you've done that. And I was getting all, okay, do you have an extra pair of pads?
Well, he dismissed any talk about any moral victories. The only thing that mattered was a win, and he gets it in his opening night as a CFL head coach. And he does it against the team he starred for and coached with for 16 years. It's in the books, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers win in Michael O'Shea's head coaching debut, 45-21. Big night for Michael O'Shea. Huge night for Drew Willie. And some hope for these Winnipeg Blue Bombers after a 3-15 season. That's the story from Investors Group Field. So long from Winnipeg. SportsCenter is now